Revamping Kensington Avenue to combat Philadelphia's opioid epidemic. Republican mayoral candidate David O. is proposing a bold solution to tackle the city's long-standing opioid epidemic, a crackdown on Kensington Avenue. Why it matters: Philadelphia has implemented various tough-on-crime measures over the years, yielding limited success. O's proposal represents an escalated approach compared to previous initiatives. Current situation: Kensington Avenue, known as the Walmart of heroin, houses one of the largest open-air drug markets on the East Coast. The main thoroughfare is plagued by rampant crime, homelessness, prostitution, and a host of quality-of-life issues. In 2021, Philadelphia recorded nearly 1,300 deaths from drug overdoses, the highest rate in the city's history. Kensington Avenue accounted for 169 of those deaths, solidifying its reputation as one of the most severely affected areas in the city, according to the Inquirer. Zoom in: the proliferation of xylazine, an animal tranquilizer, causing open sores and often requiring amputations among users, has exacerbated the crisis, according to O. He believes that the city has tolerated Kensington's drug problem for far too long and asserts that increased policing is the most effective approach to address it. How it would work: O plans to allocate a minimum of 20 police officers for 24/7 operations during the initial 3 months, followed by an evaluation of the impact. He also intends to request assistance from the state police to augment patrols. While streets will not be completely closed off to traffic, O proposes implementing additional driving checkpoints to discourage individuals from neighboring areas seeking drugs. He also advocates for deploying drones to track suspected dealers and conducting more field tests on suspected narcotics to enhance drug seizures. What they're saying: O asserts that current law enforcement practices in the area are too lenient. He believes that Kensington residents have a rightful expectation for the government to enforce the laws effectively. Inside Philadelphia's trank hellscape, disturbing new footage shows devastating scale of drug crisis in Kensington neighborhood, with addicts crowding filthy sidewalks and shooting up in broad daylight. Shocking footage has revealed the scale of Philadelphia's untamed trank epidemic, which has transformed the city's streets into a drug-infested hellhole. The Kensington neighborhood, known as Ground Zero for the city's drug crisis, is seen littered with zombie-like addicts, with many shamelessly shooting up in broad daylight. Gruesome scenes in the City of Brotherly Love show droves of homeless addicts aimlessly staggering through the streets, surrounded by tents and scattered trash. The harrowing situation is fueled by the rise of the drug xylazine, also known as trank, a lethal sedative that is often used to enhance the effects of heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine. Philadelphia has become overwhelmed with drug-fueled crime under woke District Attorney Larry Krasner, a self-described progressive prosecutor. His failure to clamp down on crimes and handling of the city's drug crisis led to his impeachment in 2022 for dereliction of duty. However, he remains in office after his impeachment trial was indefinitely postponed. But the effects of his tenure has seen trank take over the streets of Philadelphia, with new footage showing a mass of addicts hunched over in a stupor or passed out on the sidewalk. "I've never seen human beings remain in these kinds of conditions," said Sarah Laurel, who runs outreach organization Savage Sisters, earlier this year. "They have open, gaping wounds. They can't walk, and they tell me, if I go to the hospital, I'm going to get sick. They're so terrified of the detox." Earlier this year, disturbing photographs obtained by DailyMail.com laid bare the scale of the city's tragic drug problem. Amid a flood of the popular and dangerous drug, the sidewalks are more reminiscent of a scene from The Walking Dead than a bustling metro. Trank can be consumed in a number of ways, as it is mixed with other substances to enhance its high, which has a similar effect to other opioid drugs. Users are seen smoking, snorting, injecting, swallowing and inhaling the drug, with some even seen injecting it between the toes and their feet. The effects of the drug appear very similar to that of an overdose, as victims suffer from an uncontrolled stupor of sedation, slowed breathing, and unconsciousness. Xylazine also often causes raw, gaping wounds on its victims, many of whom are found suffering from gruesome injuries while they lay among garbage and syringes. Startling figures also found that trank had been found in more than 90% of fentanyl samples in Philadelphia, and emergency rooms have reportedly seen skin and soft tissue injuries increase fourfold in the last 3 years. Users roam the streets in a trance-like state while on the drug, unaware of their movements and sprawled out on the filthy sidewalks. It has taken center stage on the drug market as a powerful cutting agent. And the zombie-like drug is one of the most addictive substances on the black market. Deaths caused by fentanyl in the U.S. surged in the 2010s. At the start of the decade, 2,666 Americans died of a fentanyl overdose. This figure shot up to 19,413 by 2016. COVID made the situation worse, with a record 72,484 deaths recorded in 2021.